What an incredibly great welcome. Lloyd, thank you so much for the kind introduction. The wind is blowing out there, my friends. I've been talking about it a long time, that the wind of change is blowing all across the state, but now there are gale force winds out there, and you all have demonstrated that here this evening. We have the best chance that we've had in years to take our state back for the people. We're going to do it on November 7th. I can feel it. And it's kind of nostalgic being back here with all of you, because it was with this group that it started. I think it was March of 2005, one of the first groups to invite me to come and say a few words about the possibility of maybe running for governor. And if you think back to those days, there were still a lot of people around us who weren't ready to get up off the mat and fight another day, who were so bruised and beaten down because of what had happened in November of 2004. They just wanted to sit back for a while. You all didn't want to sit back. You were ready to get up and start fighting right away. And it was folks like you who sustained me during those months when everybody thought it was just going to be about being a sacrificial lamb. Well, you're not seeing anybody talking about sacrificial lambs anymore on the Democratic side. In 2006, we are going to elect Democrats up and down the ballot. This is our year, my friends. This is our year, and if we stick together and do everything that we know we need to be doing, if we do everything that we know we need to be doing between now and Election Day, we can make it happen. We are going to make it happen. The only thing that this group is missing is a donkey. And I say that because it's really, somebody reminded me of the story earlier today, and I want to share it because it's really probably one of my favorite memories from the trail. It was in Wise County, and they were having this Democratic gathering, and a great crowd showed up. And just so to keep with the theme, they had a live donkey, and they had the donkey in a pen behind the stage. But it was an untrained donkey. And so we would talk, and people would start clapping, and then the clapping would die down, and I'd start talking again, but then I'd hear, "Ow! Ow! Ow!" behind me. We never learned how to teach the donkey the proper cues, but it added greatly to the event. And I found that people greatly appreciate my donkey impersonation, something I've kind of added. So think about getting a donkey in the future if you really, really want to bring some life to these events, because there are a lot of live donkeys out there. And there are a lot of live donkeys in places that you wouldn't expect to find live donkeys, places like Collin County. Plano, one of the reddest areas in the entire state of Texas. We go there on a day when it's 108 degrees in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Over 300 people showed up that day to cheer wildly. Why are people coming out of the woodwork? Why do people stand out in the rain in Tarrant County to hear a few words last Sunday? Because people are excited and they're fed up, and they know this is our chance for change. They know that whether we're talking about health care or education or stem cell research or the environment or funding for our state park system, that Rick Perry is an absolute miserable failure as governor, and they are tired of us falling further and further behind the rest of the country. That's why people are coming out of the woodwork. They're ready to take our state back. That's what this campaign is about. It's not just for people here in Travis County. You all have been doing your part for a long time. But the good news is that the cavalry is on its way. You all can continue to be a shining example for the rest of the state, but you're going to have some backup out there now, because people are ready to draw that line in the sand. They've asked that question, have you had enough? And they've answered it. They have had enough. They're drawing the line in the sand, and they are going to demand better leadership from Washington. They're going to demand leadership like we get from Lloyd Dockett and like we're going to get from John Courage. They're demanding better leadership out of Austin, and they realize that that is what this campaign is all about. I am making a pact with the people of Texas. I'm making a pact with the people of Texas because the moms and dads and the sons and daughters, the moms and dads who get up every day and try to make their children's lives a little bit better, you deserve a governor who will do the same for you. You deserve a governor who understands that budgets are moral documents, that there are human costs associated with those financial decisions that are being made. That's why we're holding Rick Perry accountable for the decisions that he made in 2003 when he decided to balance the budget on the backs of the most vulnerable in our society. At some point, people here in the state of Texas are going to have to realize that it can no longer be about big people versus little people, or the haves versus the have-nots, or the rich versus the poor. In a state as diverse as Texas, at some point everybody needs to wake up and realize that we are all in this together, and we better start giving people the tools and resources they need to lift themselves up, or we are all going to sink together. That is not acceptable. If we want to get the car out of the ditch, my friends, we don't keep pressing on the accelerator and elect Rick Perry for 4 more years. At some point, you pull the car out of the ditch so you can start moving forward again. We have a chance to do that on November 7th.